I have a mule mama green broke buddy sour on the trail. Panics when more than 8 feet away from her buddies. Separated at home now. What next? Getting worse, not better. She is in full.
Yeah. Wait, oh, mule mama, a horse. Okay, gotcha. Okay, now I got you. So this horse is really buddy sour. It's folks, an equine is an equine is an equine. They would rather be around another equine, not be around you, a predator. And I was talking about this earlier, folks. This is really important. Okay. Can you train them not to be buddy sour? No. Can you put them in another stall 10 miles away and they won't be buddy sour? You're right, they won't be. But as soon as they find an equine within minutes, they'll be buddy sour. Okay. Is there a way to change it? No. Is there a way to ride them? Hear that? And communicate with them that they're going to be made uncomfortable if they choose to do that? Yes. Get the come along rope out. Okay. And here's what I do. I make sure I have a good foundation first. Really important, folks. A good foundation. What's that mean? That means they stand perfectly quiet, perfectly straight, the head down. When they are that way, they are listening to that come along rope 110%. They have to be straight. They have to have their head down, and they have to be looking straight ahead with their feet quiet. Once you can do that, then you take another equine and walk by them. Now you're on the ground with a come along hitch. This other person can be in the saddle or they can walk the animal by on foot, either one. And as they're going by, if that mule that you have looks up or flicks an ear or moves a nose hair, you fix it. Boom, boom, boom. You make them uncomfortable when they don't think about you. You see, because when that equine goes, they're thinking about their brother as far as they're concerned. That's another equine, and they're more important than you are. You're just a predator. So how do you fix it? You don't fix it, but you put a cue on it, a cue. There's always a cue. You put your leg on them for side passing. You pick up on your reins for stopping. Those are all cues. So when the mule, fix it before it becomes a problem. If the mule is already moving at your timing, that is not the come along rope's timing. If the mule's feet are already moving, it's because your timing wasn't when the nose moved. When the nose moves, so goes the foot. When the nose moves, so goes the rest of the body, folks. So straightness. So what are you going to do? You're going to practice? You're going to practice first standing still. Quiet, looking straight ahead. What's the next thing you're going to do? You're going to have somebody walk by with another equine. 25 feet away, 100 feet away, I don't care how far away. But if this animal flicks a nose hair, fix it, bump. If he moves his head, you're too late. You're too late. Folks, this is just as much for you as it is for the mule. Let's go back. You cannot fix buddy sour. You cannot train buddy sour. You cannot train flight or fright. All right, now let me just give you an idea. Here's my good friend Pat Pirelli. I don't know many if people know about him or not, but I've known Pat for a lot of years, and we've always kind of bucked horns at his training and my training, but here it was. Here's Pat Pirelli with a horse out in the middle of the arena. Hundreds of people in the arena. The lady said every time a bicycle goes by, whether the person is pushing it or riding it, the horse gets upset. Okay, so what? Flight and fright kicks in. So what does Pat do? He teaches the horse first, stand still, be straight ahead, and be quiet. Then he actually has somebody walk around, right on. And finally, Pat takes the bicycle and puts it on top of the horse. Now, folks, I've done identical the same thing. You're thinking, wow, how about that? Yeah. But guess what, folks? You can be out on the trail and all of a sudden a bicycle come up in the horizon. That bicycle can still bugger that mule, can still bugger that horse. Why is that? Because there's something about the bicycle that's different now. Remember the t-shirt that I have? Every day is a different day to the mule. Every day is a different day to the donkey. Why is that? You can move after training, doing the come along work. You can move 10 foot to the right and think you had another whole new different mule and think, wait a minute, why didn't you get what I taught you? That's because it's a different spot. Shadows are different. The wind is different. Things are different over there. You see, folks, they look for the small things. You're looking for the big things. I'm going to go up the trail and I'm going to go camping. That's what you hear and feel. You know what? You need to start seeing the steps to get there, the small things to get there. Shoe the mule, feed the mule properly, exercising, start doing the groundwork at home, start preparing now so that when you go up the trail, it's going to be smooth and easy. You see, the mule, and especially the mule, because they're very, very aware of every split thing that's going on. The smallest thing, they're aware of it. Okay? And I'll tell you one more thing. Now we're talking about, flight and fright, and we're talking about just being buddy sour. I'm telling you, you think you got them figured out. Watch this. At the Phoenix Zoo, we had a trail that we walked people on with the mules. One person walked, the other person rode the mule just to get an idea and say, I rode a mule. Okay. One day, some of the local Indian tribes, the Pimas, wanted to put some broken pottery out on the trail so people could get an idea that Indians had been there at one time. And the zoo curator said to me, Steve, is that going to be okay? I said, yes. But first, we got to take the mules by and let them know it's there. He said, they're not going to know that. I said, come on. I give him a mule. I had a mule. We had a come along ropes on. We were walking around the trail. All of a sudden, my mule stopped, looked. Listen, folks, they know every square inch of that trail. They know what's new and they know what's old. They know. They saw that pieces of pottery. And see, my mule was the lead mule. So that means the second mule back here, old Charlie. Charlie's going along saying, oh, it's okay. Sam is up here and what's Sam see? What's Sam see? Charlie, Sam, what's going on? What do you see? Pottery. You see, folks, you wouldn't think about that, but think about this. If you were the bottom of the pecking order, which a lot of people are, even in our society, yes, you're going to want to take care of yourself. You're going to be watching things. That's what that mule is doing. He's very aware of what's going on. And I tell folks, I'll leave this alone. Just go back to here. You cannot fix barn sour. Yes, you can. Barn sour is fixed by you not taking the saddle off and leaving it on for a while and letting them soak at the hitching rail. You cannot fix buddy sour. You can't do it. It's natural. It's just the way the mule is made because they're the bottom of the pecking order. You cannot train flight and fright. They're going to be there. Why do you have a bridle? So that flight and fright kicks in, you pick up on the bridle. So there's the long story of it in essence. You cannot just put them in another corral and say, okay, they're no longer going to be buddy sour. Nope. The split second, the two of them see each other, it's automatically, I'm in love. And if you get a horse and mules, those mules are very subservient to horses. Very subservient to horses. When a horse comes around, those mules will focus on that horse. Now, when I was at Yosemite packing freight, we rode horses because the mules would go with that horse anywhere it wanted to go. Subservient. So going back, I gave you a way to communicate. And that way to communicate is, like I said, stand for the come along hitch on, get them straight, have the other animals go by. And see, this is your timing. So if the mule even throws a whisker toward that other animal, you can bump them. So that was a long story of what is natural to these animals that you cannot train, but you can learn to have your timing to make it better.